Hi, everyone. My name is Jim Lal-Tabak. I'm a yoga teacher, energy healer, and health and wellness coach. Welcome to this evening healing treatment, and all are welcome. Glad you're able to make it. And if you see this on Facebook, you can always try to look me up on bodymindmedicine.com and you can connect with me there as well. Or direct message me. At any rate, um, we're talking. I'm thinking about the the light and the dark, and our polarized world that humans have seemed to fall into this pattern. And so I wanted to do some, first of all, just talk about it a little bit and how it's easy, it feels easy to fall into a camp, to have an opinion. Um, and and I want to just suggest that maybe that's not a good idea. That perhaps it's better to question all our beliefs, to not fall into a mindset that we've been conditioned to believe, whether it's early childhood conditioning or as an adult. So that what I attempt to do imperfectly, but is to question every single judgment, every single, when I have a reaction to something, it tends to be that I've judged it. I've put it in a box somewhere. And I think that when we do that, we don't see the whole picture. We see our interpretation, our conditioning is pushing us. Now, there are times that I have to say when some conditioning helps us stay safe. Like I was talking about when I first put this out as a topic, embracing the light and the dark. Well, I'm not recommending that you go out at 3 a.m. in the city somewhere, or somewhere where it's not safe. I think we have to use some judgment, but at the same time, if it's this automatic judgment, then fear rules. And we want to be able to almost have the innocence of a teenager sometimes, where so we can take these risks to change our lives, to make um, make a make a difference in how the direction we're going, because otherwise we're sort of stuck in that mold that we've been um, brought up with, or that we're in at the moment, and it feels like a safe um, safe place. So um, so I wanted to talk about that whole, going into this polarity. And when I see and hear something, especially in the media, I always remember that they have a point of view. Whatever point of view, whatever media you're looking at, they have a point of view, and they meaning the anything from the advertisers to the managers of the media, they have some kind of uh, point of view and opinions, and they are promoting them. And so we need to just know what that is. I would not tell anyone what to believe. Just to question all these things, right? So we question and say, oh, it's an opinion, and just know that, so we don't get caught by in our ways of thinking that this is black and white. There's and I'm going to go into this thing about the polarities, that and the black, dark, and light, starting with our season, that starting to look and reframe what darkness is. The old patterning is darkness is evil, darkness, and so forth. But the reality is, darkness helps us sleep, and sleep helps us clear our brains, right? It helps slough off dead cells and all their kinds of debris and waste products from the brain. So sleep, and we sleep the best and deepest in darkness. So dark is good in that case, right? So dark can be good. And you think about the plants and how half of so you think of a tree, that half of their body, in a sense, or their physical nature, is above ground and half is below in darkness. And it's where they get water and nourishment. So in that case, again, darkness can be good. Darkness, it can be quiet. It can be peaceful. It can be a good balance from too much light, right? Too much light. I'm not saying light is not good, of course, but I think there's this, we want to have the idea in our mind that light and dark are necessary. And I wanted to just give you a couple little kind of strategies that I do and I recommend. And that is, if you can work your schedule, so you get up, you wake up at least 15 minutes before the sun rises, and watch the light and how it slowly gets lighter. Your body will feel peaceful and you get optimal, the most amount of light when you wake up before the light comes. So a lot of people have SADS and that seasonal affective disorder, so forth, and it's not it's very uncomfortable for many people. So I get up really early and get as much natural sunlight as I can. Even if I'm indoors, the light is still coming in from outside. So that's one detail. And the other part is getting to sleep early enough to get a good night's rest. And that means, well, the sun is setting around 4:30 today. You can, get to bed at 9 or 10, and then you'll wake up before the sunrise. And that might seem difficult, but the recommendations are stop media and so forth 2 hours before you go to bed. Now, for many people, that's really hard. So we also recommend some kind of blue light blocking glasses that can screen out if you have a problem with getting overstimulated at night. So that if you have to be in front of a screen, then you use these. Some of them are orange colored, but they block the blue light from the computer screens, and you wind yourself down and don't get into any serious conversations and so forth. But anyway, it's a whole way of approaching the sleep issue so that you you're not, I don't know. I'm kind of going down a little bit of a tangent here, but it's a way to adjust our system, our body, to the changing light. And so that's why it's a simple thing. There are many other, there are supplements and foods and so forth, all kinds of things that can also help with sleep, and including things that help adjust cortisol and dopamine, and things that can relax the system, like 5-HTP and melatonin and so forth. But at any rate, those are things you want to research and ask, perhaps talk to a healthcare provider about what would be good for you. At any rate, I'm going to spend the rest of the time now with balance with the intention of balancing the system, our systems, and balancing in relation to the nature, so that we can feel more at ease in this period of both human polarities and natural ones, with the way the light and the dark are at this time. So we might feel a little more stress around this time, and for other reasons. At any rate, just now, let's just close our eyes. Feel the floor. Of course, if you're, I think some people might be driving, so don't close your eyes if you're operating heavy equipment there. But just breathe if you need to have your eyes open, and we want to work toward. I really think this is important too. Is work toward allowing things effortlessly to unfold. That when I start feeling like I'm pushing, then I know I'm not in the right track. I've started, trying to push the stream in the other direction, so to speak. So we want to be able to gently float down the stream in our mind, just relaxing, breathing easy, letting things go. Let thoughts come in and out, not trying to control any of that as well. You can spend a moment and have an intention right now if you like, and I'll be sending energy to support that. But then just let it go after if you have some specific thought. So I want to clear all those childhood, it could be childhood memories or childhood fears of the dark, fears of the other, fears of things that are different than than our tribe, so to speak, in our culture, and so that we can then start to notice positive things about the differences, that how perhaps there's some kind of balancing going on, even though we might think the scales are tipping. And they may tip, and then they go back and being comfortable when it clear, being comfortable with things changing, with things being not exactly what we think is the right thing or the safe thing, or all of those, differences that can cause us to feel some kind of disharmony. And when you can ask yourself the question, is this true? Is it really true? Or is it, and then just dig and delve into your own judgments, and even if it is true, is it absolutely going to change the course of the universe? That's a big question. Is it? No. I already know the answer to that one. It's not going to change the full, the universe. It might change some incremental things on the day to day, something. But if you find yourself in disagreement with someone, is it in the big picture? It's not as significant. It's we're then getting caught in the sort of a myopic view. So I think I'm using the right word. Anyway, just relax again. If anything came up, if ideas come up, if thoughts come up, notice them, release them. Just clearing. It's actually okay if you have some physical experience pop up from a thought. Just notice it, where it's at, and then stop thinking about it, and we'll work on releasing those things. I want to think about letting all these things go, and we'll work. I'm going to go do a brief chakra cleanse, starting with the heart. Those of you who've been coming along a while know that we used to do this every treatment. Color green. It's breathing nice and easy. And then moving down to the root chakra. Clear the ankles, the knee joint, the pelvic joint where the femur goes into the pelvis, and the base of the spine. So that the foundation is solid, both standing, sitting. And then moving to the second chakra, the color orange, a couple inches below the navel. And then the third chakra, which is color yellow at the solar plexus, which is where the stationary ribs meet. And it's just about where the diaphragm is. as you inhale and exhale. Moving back up to the heart. Just remembering that you don't have to do anything, allowing energy to flow, allowing positive healing energy to enter your system, to move through, and letting it go. But just this is a release of any kind of control. Except for things that you absolutely like. If you're driving, you have to pay attention to your car and others, of course. Moving up to the throat chakra, color is blue. And moving throat to the brow chakra, third eye, violet. And then the crown, the golden or white light, not too bright. Don't want to fry the circuits, right? You're going to be gentle. I want you to take a moment and just think about anything that you specifically have a judgment or an opinion about. See if you can soften that a little bit. So what I'm seeing a lot of reds right now, colors, and that kind of tells me that there could be a feeling of a threat to the foundation, that things, that's why fear usually comes up as, we feel unsafe. So we want to just nurture that stability. we're almost out of time. I just wanted you to envision in your mind's eye that, and most of you know it, I'm sure, the yin yang symbol, where you have light and dark. There's two sort of swirling drops, sort of like a little drop, but and then inside each one of those is the all the other color, or if one is black, the other, there's a little circle of white in there, and so forth. And the whole idea is there's this whole, the circle is the symbol of the universe in a sense, and then within that, everything is made up of those different, at least in the physical form, of these different opposing, so seemingly opposing forces. However, they all fit into this one, into the universe, and they all have parts that are, that work inside. So it's like we have this darkness, we have this light, we have perhaps ignorance in us, and also well-meaning and so forth. But it's all, and judgment and prejudice and so forth. It all goes into the soup that we are as a complex being. And so I want you to just take a moment to accept that we are all part of this, big system, interconnected. All right, so let's bring our hands in front of our hearts. Express gratitude. Let's turn our palms in for a brief moment, inviting that energy into our, and moving through every part of our body, our system, our mind. And then opening out and sending energy out into the world. So that we can be connected. Good. Bring the hands back in front of the heart. Thank you all for being here. Next week, I believe I'm going to have a conflict again on Tuesday, and I'll send out another reminder, and we'll be meeting on Wednesday. So I want to thank you all for coming. I really appreciate your being here, and we'll just keep going. And the energy that you come with is so appreciated and beneficial for everyone. And I wanted to say, at the beginning, before we even talk, I put out an intention to energize the replays. So when you're listening, or if you go and listen to a replay, or those of you online, and you hear the or it could be on the YouTube channel, just follow the instruction and come up with an intention, and the energy will, it's almost like magnetize the treatment, so that it's repeating through the later later views. So yes, thank you for, I played a replay and I did feel that. Cool. Thank you, Diane. That's good to hear some validation of that, because yeah, that's my intention. Okay, everybody, we'll see you next week, Wednesday. And again, I'll remind you. So thanks. Take care. Let's see where we go.